DJI have released a latest fly update for the Mini 3 and most drones that use the fly app. 1.10.4 is the latest fly app. Let's have a quick look into the video, short video today, and see exactly what's been altered. Let's do this. So hello, welcome once again to the channel. As I just said, DJI have released a fly app update 1.10.4 and it's all about, well, nothing really. They've altered a couple of voice prompts and one or two other things that may trip some people up. So let's get straight into the menus and have a look exactly what we're talking about. Okay, there we go. So firmware installed. Quick looking into the menus. Now I have heard some horror stories that the maximum altitude had been reduced to 15 meters, but as you can see on iOS, it is actually 20 meters on my device anyway, and we can make that up to 500 meters. Some subscribers and viewers are saying that theirs has been restricted now to 120 meters. One thing I have noticed is that the auto return to home altitude, that cannot be set if your maximum altitude is set to the lowest, which is 20 meters. So we'll just move that up to 120, and then you can see you can match that altitude or alter it. But once you set the max altitude down to 20 meters, you can see that it sets it to the same as your max altitude. Just one thing to bear in mind. So if it's set to the lowest, it automatically will set it down to the lowest. Anyway, looking through the rest of the menus, we can see that everything is exactly the same as it was. Using the DJI Mini 3 Pro for this test, I'm going to take it out for a quick fly just to make sure that everything is as it should be, which I'm sure it will be. Transmission looks to be pretty much the same as it was. 5.8 gig always seems to be a little bit lower on interference when we're indoors, but I usually keep it on dual band anyway. And then looking in the about section, you can see the app version 1.10.4. So okay, that's all the menus look through. Like I say, I don't think there's anything else that actually springs out to mind. Right, let's give it a quick fly and just make sure that everything works as it should.
Home point updated.
So here we go then with the flight test, and you just heard that new voice prompt. The home point has been updated. It sounds a little bit artificial intelligence, and there's a lot of that coming about, as you know, with the internet at the moment. So just a very, very short flight test because it's extremely windy here in the UK today, although it's a glorious weather and we've got some storms brewing. So just wanted to just take it out, make sure it did actually fly okay. And as you can see, it was just setting the auto return to home altitude just there, we just spoke about earlier. And I will summarise that back in the studio very shortly. But everything seems to work fine. Strong wind warnings, as you can see. It was extremely windy. But everything seems to work okay. I'm just going to do a quick shot and a quick return to home. Just make sure that things are doing what it's supposed to do. So we'll just select a subject on a quick shot. And click go.
3, 2, 1.
And as you can see, that's working absolutely spot on, as it should do. The purpose of doing these quick flight tests is that about a year or so ago, DJI was constantly updating their firmwares and fly apps, and it was causing issues. Another voice prompt just there.
Return to home.
And I don't know about you, but I think that really does sound very robotic, and it's almost like the Autel drones with their voice prompts. So there we go, just a very, very short flight test, and everything seems to work as it should. So quick summary back in the studio. So there we go, just a short video this week, just about the Fly app update 1.10.4 and what it brings to us. And as you saw in the videos, there was that bit of a discrepancy where when you set your maximum flight altitude down to 20 meters, then the auto return to home is also set at that as well. So just be careful on that one, be mindful. Mine, as you saw, you could set it to 500 meters. God knows why you want to fly that high, especially in the UK. Already countries that limit you to your height flight restrictions. So just be aware of that one. So I did a little bit of a test on the DJI RC. As you know, this is an Android device, and the latest Fly app on here at the moment is 1.10.1, and that shows exactly the same. If you reduce the minimum altitude, it will reduce the minimum altitude for the return to home as well. So that was always the case. But a good friend of the channel, Gavin HR, as I'm sure a lot of you know, he did a video a couple of days ago and did a review with the Android phone. So there is a difference between the phones from iOS and Android, but certainly on the DJI, still on 1.10.1, it still does exactly the same thing. So just something to bear in mind when you're setting your return to home height. So if you are messing about with the sliders, just double check your auto return to home altitude. Maybe you can leave a comment down below if this update has affected your Fly app. It's not had any effect on mine at all, but like I say, I was using the iOS iPhone along with the DJI RC for that very, very short flight test. And extremely windy, beautiful weather in the UK, but as you saw, it was extremely windy today, so I didn't leave it up there long, just did a couple of little tests. So there we go, just a short video today, just to bring you that update news 1.10.4. As I said before, it's only available for iOS and Android phones, and it's not available yet for the DJI RC, which I'm sure will come on a firmware once this new speculated Air 3 comes out. So I hope you got something out of the video and found it useful and informative. If you have, give us the old thumbs up. And if you're new around here, why don't you consider subscribing, dinging the dong and all the rest of it that goes with it. And we will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.